Okay, so because everything looks fantastic across the board, right, with these gap ups, I'm gonna explain or just like what I'm looking for, uh, why I like something, why I don't, as opposed to saying like these are the tickers I'm watching because the whole market looks pretty decent, and I don't want to make a list of 15 to 20 tickers. Um, what's important to know when you have a gap up or down, especially across the whole market, is the gap itself, right? So I know if I'm looking at something like this, I know where my gap is, right? So it's important to have that information on your chart. So there's my Amazon gap. I didn't even draw the Google gap because it's insane. Um, I guess AMD didn't gap, but just knowing where your gaps are is like the number one thing. So like going through and drawing those gaps is important. Okay, so what I like, obviously this is amazing. Like this, what's going on here with SPY. Um, Lots of things looking for outside week at this point. Um, this looks great. I'm hoping for across the board gap up, sell, and then a reposition. So that looks like this. We gap up here, we sell, we close the gap, and then a reposition back up to highs. Okay. Um, so out the gate, I swung some SPY, so I'm just going to sell out the gate. Um, Amazon. So here's the Amazon gap. Yeah, so Amazon looks good for a few reasons, right? Number one, we have this failed two down, right? So we have a one, two, potential two back up. Similarly, we have a 2-1-2 on the week. We're looking for an outside week at this point, right? Because we've triggered this two down, didn't hit this side of the range, couldn't go, so we're going to the other side of the range. Ideally, we have an outside week, but ultimately, if we have a very strong fail two down week, happy for it. So today, I'm in Amazon as well. Um, Today, we're looking to fill this gap, right? First. Secondly, then we can look to hit daily mag, which would be here. Okay. Also liking Amazon. I just played the week. Also liking it because of the month, right? We have a failed two down month that was super bullish, very, very strong. So wanting to continue that and trigger it up here, right? But again, we have our month for that. We're just in the third day of the month, okay? So that is why I like Amazon. Google. Don't even have to talk about it. Like news came out, they're gapping. What is that? 12-ish dollars, maybe a little more, $13. Um, yeah, Google's just been on an absolute tear. So that is one that I do hope that there's some sort of sell off and maybe an opportunity for a re entry. But it's at all time highs, right? So no need to jump into that. Nvidia, this is actually a beautiful, beautiful trade. I think in my previous video I said like Nvidia is doing the inverse of what Adobe's doing, and the inverse of this hammer with this shooter. But I don't like shorting Nvidia. I don't like it. Yesterday was the day to short, and all shorts on Nvidia are going to be short lived. So if you wanted to take it, it would have been yesterday from here down, right? Because we already had drone or running formation, right? So we knew we were coming down here. And what we do, we actually like hit it perfectly, and then we completely reject it. You can see it much better on the hour, right? Here we come down, 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 hits that, it's also ADR, and it comes back up. Um, So, Nvidia's looking great for a return back to the highs. Okay. Um, Great little PMG as well. One, two. I guess not a PMG, but great pivots up there. Um, so yeah, I like Nvidia today to go at least fill the gap, which is a baby, and then go here. Right. So we like Nvidia today. Tesla. I'm less in love with Tesla. Month is still very inside. The thing about Nvidia is it triggered the month, rejected, right? It reclaimed, and so now we have a potential for outside month. Tesla, however, is still an inside month. And to be fair, like the month just started, so that's fine. But I like Nvidia more because it's already reclaimed and it's reversing the month, right? Tesla's still a strong ticker, good way to be. Um, in terms of what's next, I'm thinking it's just there's a few things that are a lot stronger than Tesla at the moment. So could we go outside week? Absolutely, of course. I just think that there's better things. Meta, also really dig in Meta. Similarly, it triggered this month down, reclaim this month, showing a lot of strength. The week we've hit our weekly target, right? Came back through. I know that we are currently in a gap. I'm just not concerned about it because it's not filling it, right? So what I want to happen on Meta, and look at this PMG, right? Boom, 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 right? All the way through on the day, and that gives us outside week, which is what we're looking for across the board, right? So lots of potential there on Meta. Yeah, kind of a get in where you fit in situation. Also, we have flipped the quarter green. So that's also giving me another indication of strength to the upside. Okay. So definitely like Meta on today. Apple also like just not that interested because it gapped up like this. Yeah, fine. More movement up to the highs. It needs to flip the year, which is up here. So definitely see that happening. But in terms of a trade that I'll take today, just not that interested. Microsoft, I really dig it. um, Similar to Meta in the sense that it triggered this, didn't go anywhere, came back up and through, hit the Browning formation, came back up and through. Can get rid of this. This is the Browning formation, this yellow line. So again, looking for an outside week. Definitely want to have a smaller time frame entry, but for sure, this is your 2-2 on Microsoft back through the range. So dig it. Would I trade it today? It's a maybe. Like it just depends on how things set up. It is one of the tickers that's actually gapping down. So maybe it is an opportunity to let it gap down, sell a bit, and then get into a buy, at least for outside week. So maybe I should change this to outside week. Okay, sweet. Next, AMD, same situation, right? Trigger this month, reversing the month, looking for outside week. Absolutely love the look of AMD right now. Maybe even more than Nvidia, hate to say. But yeah, there's a gap up. So hopefully we can get some sort of sell off, fill that gap, and then come back through. Regardless, looking for outside week on this as well. If we don't get that, I'm looking for a very strong fail to down week. So yeah, to give us outside month. This is across the board. These are just really beautiful setups. So definitely into that. Affirm is in this gap, inside week, inside month. Just not necessary to try and find something on Affirm when there's so many better setups. So over that. SMCI, people have been wanting this from the bottom. And did it make a new low? It does look like it did. Nope. Not a new low. Missed it by a few cents. That's really unfortunate. But it does have a similar setup, right? Like, it triggered this month. Man, it would have been great if it took those lows out, but it looks like it's reversing. For me, there's just better things out there. But you can see you have a similar, inside week, down, looking for a potential outside week. All of those things remain true. So something you could definitely play. I just think the other chips may be stronger than our buddy SMCI. Let me look at the day even closer. Well, what SMCI has going for it is these gaps, right? This gap here, this gap here. Um, we need to fill those gaps. So sometimes you can get a lot of strength from things like that. Let's look at the quarter. Yeah, it's just red. Could it go back green? Of course, but there's better things out there. Yeah, I'm not too attached to SMCI. We'll have to see how much it costs. Like if it's cheap to get, 45s or 50s for next week, it may make sense because it's going to need time to get up there. Moving on. Well, I'll just like make it like, I don't know, like blue to indicate like a next week situation. AVGO, it has earnings next week, so this could be just like a fun run up play. I said that yesterday. Again, with an outside week setup situation going, right? We are inside month, less concerned about it because we have the strength here, right? But in terms of would I trade it today, there's better things with less risk. Costco, I honestly don't even know what the hell's going on with Costco. I don't know what is the problem. I hope it stays inside week. Ultimately, I'm just like not looking at it. If it triggers a month, I have an alert, but even like monthly mag isn't that big. Um, I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Palantir, I dig it. For today, maybe not. I traded it yesterday, which is probably why I said I dig it because I am very thankful to Palantir for paying me. Ultimately, though, we have this failed to down, very strong. So you would be able to take that daily trigger if you wanted it to trigger the inside week and up. Inside month, which again, not too big of a deal, but definitely keep an eye out. I just think there's better tickers on the day. So this will be like a maybe for me. Gotta let them open and see what they give us. Hood. Okay, I love it that they took out these lows. Right. So we have a new situation setting up. I would prefer to play fail to down months. It just gives me more information. But again, don't be overly concerned with an inside month this early in the month. You could definitely play this. You could definitely play this. And I think it's a full-on PMG in that. Yeah. So I'll draw them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? All the way up and through. Hood just needs anything to get it going. So not a bad look. Not a bad look. We'll look out for it. D-Dog does not fill the gap. Creates a new gap. Inside week, inside month. There's better things. There's better things. App. Oof. So the reason why this inside week bothers me less than this inside week is because this is very inside, right? You see how stuck it is inside? As opposed to this here, right? It's showing that it could just trigger this week and continue up. But overall, I'm probably not going to trade this. It's not a bad look though. I don't want to trade this gap up. This has been a perfect swing though. Shit, I'll say it went up like $4.50. That's crazy. But yeah, looks like a train that's been missed. Snow. Less interested. Pretty inside on the week. There's just better things out there. Yeah, don't care. MU, another chip that looks a little bit better than SMCI. This is the same setup that we've been talking about all day, right? This 1-2-2 week, strong, looking for outside week. It's not the strongest because it didn't take out these lows, but if you want to trade MU, it's a decent look. Would wait for some sort of pullback and then back through. But yeah, fine. Not for me, but fine. Crowd, completely disinterested. Um, yeah, don't care. Carvana, I dig it. Really like the way that this month has put in this hammer, this previous month. Um, However, there's better looks out there for now. The reason why I'm a little the reason why there's a bit of trepidation saying that is because I know Carvana can move $10 in a day type thing. So this being an inside week, it could just trigger. But there are better looks. There are better looks. Carvana looks like something you'd get into next week. Like this week, you would get into next week contracts. What are we at? 366. Probably like 375s next week. Should be okay. Because ultimately, like daily mag today is 378. So 375, 380s even would be fine. It's an interesting look. Mara did what I wanted it to do yesterday, quite frankly. Like, I'm just not that interested anymore. If it triggers a month, maybe I'll be interested. But yeah, I mean, Mara did its work yesterday. Adobe, I still want to long this, so I'm just waiting. I kind of love that this happened. And this also has earnings next week, so happy to wait. Happy to wait. This month is going to do what it's going to do properly. Okay, gold. I'm just skipping it because I can't seem to understand how to trade it properly. Oklo. Yeah, just not that interested, but it's a fine look. If this is one of your tickers, could definitely get back up to these highs. This is an inside week and an inside month. There's better things. QCOM. This could go outside week very easily. Trigger this fail to down month and just go back up to the highs. Quite interested actually. For the gap fill. Huh. It took out mad lows. I don't trade QCOM often, so I would have to wait for some sort of like 30 or 60 to signal to me. But if you enjoy trading QCOM, the daily trigger makes complete sense to take the daily trigger and shoot for outside week. First thing is the gap fill. Totally fine. Makes complete sense. You want to be able to trigger the month. I can draw all of that for you. So this would be outside week target, which then triggers the month, which then you want to keep going up to the top of this broadening formation, right? Yeah. Very, very nice, actually. Spotify is Spotify. Like, yeah, outside week, very feasible, very plausible. There's 3-2 continuation, up, going through 1-2, maybe 3 pivots. You have space up. But yeah, gold would be outside week. Looks fine. I'm not going to trade it, but looks fine. TEM. I am gutted that I got out of this yesterday. I got out at outside day-ish, I want to say. Oh, no, that's not true. It did this thing yesterday. Yeah, it went up, and then this red hour, I was like, I can't hold this. But I just didn't get back in. Very upsetting. Look at this. Yeah, definitely outside week on this one. I'm looking for a 3-2 month to just continue to hit all-time highs, which is up here, right? So TEM looks prime, quite frankly. Would I jump in today? I think there's better things. Yeah, I think there's better things to get into today, but this is on its way to outside week. Okay, Netflix. Yeah, I really like this. I also like that it gapped down a bit, so it's going to give me some time to get in. Yeah, I really like this. To the upside. Looks great, actually. Looks great. 2 targets, decently spaced out. ultimate target gets me to outside week, right? Here is my final day target. Right, and that's outside week. I don't know what this old line is there. Inside month, again, not too worried about it. Yeah, this is a beaut, right? And we took out this low, right? We hit weekly mag. So, even better. Even better. Yeah, very much into this. Netflix is pricey, but it is worth it when you catch the move. Yeah, into it. And this inside month is okay because I'm looking to trigger this failed 2 down on the month anyway. So, yeah, this looks prime. Oh, wait. I need to mark it for me in it. Okay. Roblox. I mentioned this in the chat. This thing is ready, like, vroom vroom, back to the highs type shit. Yeah, I mean, it gapped up, so hopefully there's some sort of pullback. But a 3-2 day to just make this week just like an insane 3 week, trigger the month, all that kind of stuff. Trade it today. I think there's better options, but this is definitely one that you could just get in 135 to 140s and just hold it until next week, right? Maybe not 140s. 135 is probably the furthest I go out, but yeah, this is, if you get a pullback, wait for the setup to go back long. Yeah, not for me, but this baby, this is one that you wish you had gotten in and you can just hold. All right, then we're back through. So I hope that was helpful. Chatting through all that. In terms of what I'm looking at today, it's just there's too many tickers, there's too many great things out there. So I don't want to be overly zealous on anything. I would say Netflix, Nvidia, Meta are likely the faves. So we can do that. I will definitely be trading some sort of 0-day SPY. Just depends on what the market gives me. And maybe I'll stream this morning. I don't know. We'll see how things go. Still have about an hour before open, so we'll see how the morning pans out.